Listen, in case you didn't know, there's some people out there that have the belief, they claim and they believe, they stand on it, that Yeshua, the Christ, the Messiah, was never crucified, that he some kind of way was swapped out by God, that he never was nailed to the cross, he never shed his blood, but that it was a substitute that was actually crucified to the cross, right? Let me tell you something. That's idiotic. That's stupid. Not saying the people that believe that they are stupid, but the idea and the ideology that they hold to is stupid. Okay? If Christ was swapped out at the cross and he never was nailed to the cross, he never hung on the cross, he never shed his blood for the remission of sins for the world, those that came before him and after, then our whole belief system of salvation is for nothing. Salvation means nothing. It is for nothing if that is the case. And I do not believe that is the case. I believe that Jesus, Yeshua, the Christ, the Messiah, the Holy One, the Son, the only begotten Son of God, not only was he nailed to the cross, but that he hung, he bled, and he died and was rose on the third day. That's what I believe. Because the only way that sins can be remitted is by blood. This is why in the Old Testament that they would offer different type of animals and the shedding of the blood for the sins of the people. But Christ was the last offering. He was the last living offering. His blood is the only blood that can blot out sin, all sin, regardless of past or present. So for those folks that say, well, God did not allow his son actually to be nailed to the cross. He didn't actually die on the cross. It wasn't his blood that was shed on the cross. I feel sorry for those folks because there's no forgiveness for their sins. Because in their mind and their belief and understanding that Yeshua never went to the cross. But for me, at my house, I'm so thankful that God paid my penalty. See, I was the one that was supposed to be on that cross. I was the one that was supposed to be being nailed. I was the one that was supposed to hung and die between those two thieves. That was me. I was supposed to be there. But he took my place. And because he took my place, and because his blood was shed for my sin, a man that knew not sin, his blood covers me. It covers my past sin, it covers my present sin, and it covers whatever sin I may commit in the future. It's by his blood that washes and cleanses. You dig? It's by his sacrifice, being the perfect sacrifice, being the only sacrifice that God would accept in lieu of my sin. And it's because of his love for me and his blood that was shed that washes me clean, that I can stand before God with boldness and obtain mercy. You dig? It's only because of what Yeshua did on the cross. Not some fake alternate substitute. It was Yeshua the Christ. It was Jesus of Nazareth. It was his blood that washed my sin, cleansed me, made me clean before God, made me whole so that I can have relationship with God. I can be accepted into the family. I can rightfully claim my sonship of adoption because of what he did on the cross. Not some substitute, not some fake, some phony, not some alternate. Wasn't like Jesus had to step in. No, Jesus cried in the Garden of Gethsemane, Father, if there's any way for this cup to pass, this cup of wrath, this that I have to go through, if there's any way, any other way that we can do it, can we possibly do it? But nevertheless, your will be done. And it was God's will that Christ would go to the cross and his blood would be shed on my behalf and yours. So I just want to clarify that up for those that may be under the misconception. They may have heard out there in these religious streets that, oh yeah, Jesus didn't actually go to the cross. He was substituted out. Someone else actually went to the cross. Because if that's the case, then guess what? There is no remittance for my sin nor yours. Because it wasn't Yeshua's blood that was spilt. It was some alternate. Be careful out here in these streets. Don't believe everything you hear, but put your trust in the word of God. Only. You dig?